So I recently left my business for a 9 to 5 job, and I know that this is quite unusual. This is not common. The usual thing we've always seen is people quitting their 9 to 5 job to settle for their business. But in my case, the reverse is the case. And it has not always been like this because there was actually a time when I quit my day job to focus on my business. So, a little background story. When I recently relocated to Canada, the first job I got was to work at a daycare. I was working in the kitchen of a daycare, making food for the kids. And honestly, when I first got the job, I was super excited about it. I can't lie. Like my first job in Canada, I can't lie. I was excited about it. I was grateful for it and I was enjoying it until school started because I came in to study. And when school started, the job that brought me so much joy when I got it began to drain me emotionally, physically, spiritually. Like it was draining me. And at some point, I just got really tired. I just knew that I couldn't keep up with the job, my studies, and my business because somewhere along the line, I started my business because the income from the daycare was not enough and I had to start my baking business, which was what I left back home in Nigeria. I think one day I actually have to talk about what I left back in Nigeria. I left a lot. But then I had to pick up my baking job again because I needed more money and the money from the daycare was not enough. So at some point, I just felt like I couldn't keep up with the daycare job, the cake business, and my studies. So I had to quit the daycare job to settle for my business and studies, especially because the business gave me more flexibility to be able to go to class, be able to study, do my assignments, and excel as a student. And honestly, I know that quite a number of people envied me at that time because the money I was making from my business was more than the money I was earning at the daycare, which was actually a good thing for me. So I really didn't have a reason to hold on to the daycare job. But fast forward to when I finished school, you know how seasons change and life change and your needs grow. Like as you're growing, your needs grow with you. So when I finished school, my needs grew and I needed to make more money. And at that point, the business was not really giving me so much money, not because it didn't have the potential to give me enough money, but because I lost the motivation to push for the business because it was physically draining for me. And at that point, I knew that I needed to either get someone on board, like employ someone to assist me, or just quit the business altogether. I usually train online and then excuse me, the online classes too was taking my time and everything. Not to bore you, I knew that I needed to quit the business and I needed to quit my online courses. But now reality sets in. If you quit this business, number one, how do you make money? Because money is needed. Like the bills don't stop. You have to keep paying bills every month and then to keep up with Canadian life. And trust me, I don't try to impress anyone. I don't live beyond my means. I try to live within my means. I try as much as possible to live within what I have and can afford. But now I think that is actually quite relative because looking back right now, I think I could have done better when it comes to managing my finance and, managing life generally. So I just knew that something had to change. The first thing was I stopped my online courses. I stopped selling my online courses, which actually took me a long time to come to, reach that point of, okay, it's time to let go of these online courses. It took me a long time to make the decision, but eventually I did. And then gradually I stopped getting enthusiastic about getting cake orders because it was really draining for me physically and emotionally. And so, and because right now I also need work experience in Canada, I had to pick up a job. And when I was trying to get a job, I prayed and I told God that, God, I need a job that would give me a breathing space, like that would give me the opportunity to not have to take a lot of cake orders so that I can begin to think about the next phase of my life after the job or after I've gotten all that I need to get, you know. And God answered that prayer. I got a job, and at that point, I didn't really have to, keep hustling to make cakes or sell my online courses. And so looking back right now, I really can't believe that I left my business to pick up a 9 to 5 job. But if you ask me honestly, I believe that I made the right decision at that time that I made the decision because number one, my family needed more income because, like I said, our needs grew and we needed more money to pay bills, and live life generally. And apart from that, I need the work experience to accord myself more opportunity. So yeah, getting a 9 to 5 job right now is a good decision for me. And reducing my cake orders because yeah, I said I left my business. I'm not saying that I'm no longer going to take cake orders, but I'm saying that we will no longer take cake orders that is draining for me. So if I feel like I can't undo a particular cake order, I'm going to turn it down. Like right now, I am learning to say no because that's one of the issues that I think I've struggled with over the years. I'm always a yes person, but now I believe that I need to say no more often. And that's why I'm going to reduce my cake orders. I would only take it if it works for my schedule and if the pay is good enough for me. But apart from that, every other one is going to be turned down, which I know might not be easy because, yeah, money can be quite enticing. And if one is not careful, you get greedy and you just want to do everything in the name of making money. So, yeah, that's how I left my business to embrace a 9 to 5 job. And right now, I'm trying to navigate a new path. I'm trying to see what other thing I can do apart from my baking business. Like, I'm so used to baking. I've been baking for well over 15 years. That is my husband opening the door behind us. So, I've been baking for over 15 years and I am so used to baking. Like at a point, I felt baking was the only business I could do. But I had to tell myself that no, I can do other things. If I was able to learn baking so well and I was very good at it, then I can always learn something new and be good at it. So if you're watching this and you feel like it's time to let go of one thing that is no longer serving you, which is what I talked about in the first episode of my podcast series this year. If you feel like you need to let go of something that is no longer serving you, but you're afraid that you won't be able to get something else to replace it, well, I'm here to tell you that that is a lie from the pit of hell. Yes. Because remember that we were never born with any skills. Yeah, we were born with talents. People always say, oh, it was inborn. Like you were born with this talent, but we got to the world and began to acquire skills. We got to the world and had to learn how to talk, how to walk, how to sing, how to write, how to bake cakes, how to sew. Like all the skills that we have, excuse me, all the skills that we have right now, we had to learn it at one point or another. So don't be afraid to learn something new. Don't be afraid to embrace something new just because you feel that you are so good with something, but you know strongly within you that it's time to let go of that thing, or because that thing no longer serves you or serves its purpose. It's time for you to let go and open up your heart to change. Be willing to embrace change. Be willing to explore. Yes. And even though I know that exploring actually comes with certain age, like for people in their mid 30s, early 40s, we are in that age where we don't really want to explore. We just want certainty. We want to be sure that whatever we're doing makes sense. And I know that if you are probably in your early 20s or your late 20s, you might not feel the same way. You are open to, explore, take risk and all of that. But if you're watching this right now, regardless of your age, regardless of the phase you're in, regardless of the season of life you're in, regardless of the circumstance around you, I want you to know that change is possible for anyone. When I first got my job, I was really afraid that I might not be able to catch up with the job. But I've been at the job for over 2 months now. And today I was just reflecting on my way back home that I have grown. Like the first day was really scary for me. I was like, won't I mess up this job? Won't I get things wrong? And honestly, when I started the job, my learning process was quite slow. Yeah, it was quite slow. Even right now, I still feel it's a bit slow. But right now, the amount of knowledge I have gained in over 2 months, it's actually quite surprising for me. And right now, I believe that I can do anything that I put my heart to. I know that I can choose a new path. I can try something new. I can learn a new skill and still be very good at it. So, yeah, I hope this was meaningful to you. I just feel like I'll be doing random talks like this because oftentimes I feel like, oh, I just want to pour it out in my journal and all of that. But I feel it's okay to just share my thoughts with you, what's going on in my heart, what I'm going through, what I'm dealing with, just for you to know that whatever you're going through right now, you are not alone. You are not the only one going through it. Life is happening to a lot of us. Like the way I said lately, life is lifing. And that's just the truth. Life is happening to a lot of us lately. And I just want you to know that you're not alone. And in as much as we're trying our best, God will always be there to support us, to encourage us, to give us all the necessary help that we need. My name is Lanike Awoleke, and hopefully you see my face again. Sharing about myself. And I know that this was a bit vulnerable for me, yeah, but then it's okay as long as people can learn from it. So hopefully I see you again, and I guess this is going to be season 2, episode 2 in the podcast series. Until I see you again, take care.